Hello there folks, this is Jiminy Critic, and as you can see we're going to review the movie The International on today's show. The International, starring Clive Owen and Naomi Watts. This is brought to us from Columbia Pictures. It's a drama, thriller type genre movie. It lasts about 2 hours, 118 minutes, and it's rated R, basically for some violent scenes and some language in the movie. The director of this film is Tom Tykwer, who has directed recently a movie called Perfume. He directed Paris, Je t'aime. He directed a movie called True, and a movie a few years back, I think 2001, called Heaven, if you're familiar with any of those. He's the director on this film. I gotta say on this film, it's very interesting. I went into this film kind of looking forward to this. I like thriller movies, I like chase movies, I like international intrigue movies when they're done well, and this one's done pretty well. I would recommend that you check it out, but I do want to mention to you that the 2-hour time frame did seem to be a little bit long to me overall. It's not the kind of movie that you can go take a popcorn or drink break in the middle and come back. You'll kind of miss information that you're going to have to keep up on the movie. It is kind of to stay with it, it's kind of a thinking movie. This is not one that you just go sit there, clear your mind, and enjoy the entertainment. You kind of got to stay with the story. They're in all sorts of locations: Italy, Germany, United States, New York City, and so forth. In this movie, Naomi Watts plays a U.S. District Attorney from New York, and Clive Owen, a British actor who's very famous in movies in recent years, plays an officer of the Interpol. And basically, the International is kind of the shortened version for a large banking empire, the International Bank of Business and Credit, the IBBC, the name that they give this bank. And he is looking into, Clive Owen's character is looking into what he finds in research with the Interpol, that this banking institution is funding wars and skirmishes and gun running and weaponry sold between countries. They're being the ones that are financing this and making a profit and controlling the power during times of wars between countries, and that's what the intrigue is supposed to be in this particular movie. I got a clip here coming up for you that comes toward the latter part of this particular movie, but before we get to this, I wanted to give you an interesting quote that I found in this movie. Again, I'm going to recommend that you check it out. It's a good thriller, but again, 2 hours, a little bit long. One reviewer that saw this movie said this about it, and I would have to tend to agree after I read that. The quote goes, "There's an extraordinary shootout at the Guggenheim Museum, which is in New York, coming to theaters this week. Unfortunately, you have to sit through The International to see it." And I agree with part of that particular quote. I thought it was interesting. There is a very original and interesting, there's, in movies, folks, there's many shootout scenes in these kind of movies. Very interestingly shot and done. And of course, it looks like they are inside the Guggenheim Museum, which have that circular and all the stairwells going up and down and chasing each other throughout that place. I have to say that happens about the central part of the movie, and it is one of the most interesting parts of the movie. So if you can hang in there for that part, I think you'll enjoy yourself. I won't give away the character, but Clive Owen is trying to protect this character who's high up in the banking industry, who decided he's had enough of this life and wants to do the right thing and try to turn these people in and help them get caught for their illegal financing. And he's trying to tell her, Clive Owen's trying to tell Naomi Watts, that he just needs to cut me off, walk away from me, leave me alone, so that I can act outside of the boundaries of the law. And isn't it like one of these movies that the main guy has to go outside the boundaries of the law to get done what needs to be done? So Jiminy Critic here recommends that you go and check out The International.